Good evening everyone, it's Paulie. My apologies for the late stream slash vlog. As you'll see in the footage leading up to this, there was a slight accident in the kitchen, and rather than leave it till tomorrow, I decided to fix it tonight. So I've changed the washer, the tap's now working fine, the mains are back on, and I can rest easy tomorrow knowing that it's all done. So, my apologies if I'm a bit tired, and once again also for being late. This evening we're going to talk about 5 things that can sort of improve your photography and videography. They're just 5 general basic tips that may be able to help you, and they're all relatively inexpensive. As you know, everything in photography and videography is expensive, and when you start you may not always have the budget for it. The first one is quite simple, and yet it gives an excellent final product. Now, if you're watching live, you can scroll through my stream and look through my time lapses, and if you're watching the vlog, you'll be seeing this overlaid. But essentially it's an egg timer in which you can sit your camera on top, and when you're taking a time lapse, it rotates. So getting that movement in the time lapse gives it a more immersive feel and can really add to your time lapse rather than it just be stationary. So this was $12 off eBay, and as you can hear, it's just a simple egg timer. You mount your camera on top. They've got different ones for different weights of cameras, so check that. Mounts onto the bottom of your tripod, and boom, there's camera hack number 1. Number 2, often when you're filming video especially, getting clean audio can be a bit of an issue. Now, sound packs are quite expensive along with professional mics, yet you can still pick up a digital voice recorder that still records in high quality, either from your closest electronic retail outlet or online or secondhand like I did mine. They should be able to take headphones, microphones, and a various assortment of inputs. This one, I'm glad that it's got a USB connection there, so while it isn't going to get the full range of audio or the high quality audio, it is sufficient, and especially if you're working on a budget, these are handy. Now, if you don't have a lapel mic, an alternative are your iPhone pods or your headphones for your Android device. They're fantastic. They do great for simple interviews and basic audio. So rather than spend a couple $100 on a sound pack that's wireless or Bluetooth or whatever it is, these are quite simple and cheap, and it can increase the production quality of your final video. So that's number 2. Number 3, of course, is quite simple, but they don't always tell you when you start, or depending on how you start. I stumbled across it through watching an online tutorial. These are ND filters. ND filters filter out light, and you'll just notice there that I'll place it over the lens. There we go, I'll do the same for the camera. This takes out light when or reduces the amount of light being absorbed by the sensor or camera when you're doing long exposures during the daytime. You'll often know that when you are filming in direct sunlight, your highlights get blown out, and when I say highlights, that's all the white features. They're accentuated and maybe don't show the full depth of the subject or whatever you're trying to capture. If you are doing an extended time lapse, an extended shot where your shutter's open for an extended period of time, these are handy. Now, if you've ever seen Saving Private Ryan, you'll notice there's a sort of motion blur. That comes from, of course, having the sensor open a lot longer and giving you I guess the best way to describe it is a more cinematic feel. If you are doing night photography, these are also fantastic because you can get some really amazing night photography shots. So you can get ND filters, branded or generic. If you're just starting out, just get some generic ones online or from your local camera shop, but they will up your photography game significantly, and they'll reduce the amount of time you spend in post. Next one, this one's a simple one. Now, lighting can be expensive. Buying different bulbs and different lighting to suit the situation, of course, can also be expensive. I may have shown you this hack before, I can't recall. Cellophane paper. So I put this over my lighting whenever I'm trying to make a different feel or atmosphere. I've got red, blue, green, a couple of different colours, and we'll just give a quick demonstration. Oh, hang on. And so you should now notice it's gone slightly bluish. And that's, yeah, just cellophane paper. So that's very handy, especially if you've got a studio or just a regular light. You can cover it over and it will, or drape it over, and it will produce that colour. Now next, getting steady video can be difficult at the best of times, even if your camera does have an inbuilt stabilizer. Gimbals are also very expensive, and saying that, not all cameras have inbuilt stabilizers, but gimbals, the electronic gimbals, they're also very expensive. This is a Steadicam. A Steadicam, as you can see, is quite simple. I'll move out of the way so it's not in contrast. Oh, that's terrible, Paul. There we go, that's better. The Steadicam allows you to get a lot smoother shots. You may see people walking around with these, not so much anymore, but they are a lot cheaper. They still do provide a beautiful, smooth shot and movement, and they will up your the production value of your video because you're getting those lovely smooth shots. It is easier when you are rehearsing a shot, so you know where the subject, if you're filming a subject for a music video or something. If you're doing lots of quick movements, it's probably not the best, but once again, this is a lot cheaper than one of the mechanized gimbals. We've done 5 already, but this one's number 6, and while everyone may not have a drone, if you do have access to a drone is also like a stabilized camera. I think I may have filmed 1 or 2 shots or sequences in certain videos that I'll try and find an overlay where I've used the drone. And if you've ever seen me filming, actually Full Court Fitness, if you've ever seen me filming the Full Court Fitness videos, I've used the drone a couple of times when I was doing the behind the scenes in first person videos, where I would hold the drone and I'd be able to run knowing that the shot was stabilized. So without taking off, just pressing the record button, and this gave me a lovely smooth shot which I could then put in without stabilization in editing, which sometimes gives you the weird pixel, a weird effect, a ripple effect. This is a handy tool. Of course, if you don't have a drone, then the Steadicam. So this was a rather short one tonight. There's 6 tips for you, so there's a bonus one in there. Once again, the egg timer, the ND filters, the audio recording device, the cellophane, coloured cellophane there. Once again for the stabilized video, the Steadicam, and if you have a drone, boom, the drone. Hopefully have something a bit better for you tomorrow night, guys, and be a bit earlier. But have a fantastic Friday. May you, your friends and family all remain well and safe. Have a happy Easter. Enjoy the time you guys spend together. Don't eat too much. And I'll see you throughout the break. Thank you once again all for your time, for following. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic Friday. Peace out.